Hey y'all, welcome back. And if you're new here, howdy. Howdy from Wichita Falls, and welcome to my little corner of the world where we talk about all things Wichita Falls and abundance and feminine energy and a whole lot of other good stuff. But the fact is that I love Wichita Falls, Texas. I'm Debbie Dobbins. I'm going to be your host. I'm a real estate entrepreneur, but more importantly, I am your neighborhood storyteller. It's spring here in Wichita Falls in North Texas, and there are wildflowers everywhere. And I'm an occasional critter wrangler because there's stories on this channel about me getting a snake out of my couch and a whole lot of other fun things. But I wanted to update one of my very first videos that I ever made on this channel almost 5 years ago. And I haven't updated it. I don't know why, but I want to talk about the pros and cons of living in Wichita Falls. Now, a lot has happened since I made that first video almost 5 years ago. It might feel like a lifetime, seriously. Oh my gosh, so many things have happened. It seems like we've built a lifetime in the last 5 years. We've weathered a pandemic. We've had some record-breaking storms. Wild inflation, crazy interest rates, and it feels like it's a full-on gymnastics routine. Businesses are blooming here in Wichita Falls, and businesses are bowing out. So it's really one of those times in our life where so much is happening all at once. It's sometimes hard to keep up. And through it all, Wichita Falls, this is beautiful Wichita Falls, has stayed standing strong, proud, and yes, still the most affordable place to live in America. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. I've done a video on the lowest cost of living. You could check it out here. I've done a video on inflation. You could check it out here. We've got videos on everything you can imagine. And if you stick with me till the end, I'm even going to share some secret tips on what makes this town so super special. The kind of stuff you don't find on Google. Plus, I'm going to share some funny wildlife stories because it's me, there's gonna be critters in this lovely place called North Texas. I'm a Southern California girl, so I'm not used to critters. So let's get started. As I did in my first video about the pros and cons, I want to start with the cons first. I'm going to start with these cons because you deserve the full truth, not just the Chamber of Commerce version, right? And actually, there is a link in the body here to download a relocation guide. So it comes from a lot of what the Chamber put out. And to be honest with you, I haven't updated it in a while, but frankly, you're more interested in what's going on in the community than numbers probably, unless you're planning on opening a business here. So check it out. There's a great relocation guide here. Beautiful pictures of Wichita Falls. The first con though, and I shared this in the first video, and this part has not changed. The heat and humidity, and that's in the summertime. One of the things that most people that move here that have not experienced it before, this is a very common statement. Oh my God, it's so hot. That's what's going to happen in the summertime. And we're right now on the precipice of that. It's kind of like walking into a wet hairdryer. And if you watched my first video, you know I was already preaching about the heat. So this is not a new thing. However, it is probably, honest to goodness, I think it's probably one of the biggest cons that most people talk about. Not even the cold. I'm not a big fan of the cold, but they talk about the heat, and that hasn't changed one tiny bit. In fact, I think it's gotten a little sassier. The heat has gotten a little sassier because once August rolls around, and we have a little buildup in late June and July to August, but once August rolls around, it's like the air personally wants to, attack is not a really good word, but it does. It wants to just like take over you. You open your front door and bam, you just walked into a wet, sweaty oven set on, broil your hair. Oh my gosh, honey. If you thought that you had frizz before, just wait. Now, honest to goodness, we don't have as much humidity as we do in Florida or Houston or Playa del Carmen, where you know I love to hang out. And so I think this is more of a dry heat, but people will argue with me because if you came from Arizona or Nevada, you know that this is more humid. And we don't need science experiments here. We are the science experiment, literally in the heat. You can watch yourself change. Your whole body begins to change. And don't even get me started on, makeup. So I wear makeup for very little but makeup for these videos. Frankly, I don't wear makeup most of the time because I don't want to be out there in the humidity, rubbing my eyeballs and looking like a raccoon. Because mascara running down your face by 10 a.m., not such a pretty sight. Lots of women do themselves up here, don't get me wrong, but I personally, it's not my thing. So that's just Wichita Falls, giving you a smoky eye for free if you're wearing makeup. It's all cool. But here's the thing. We are resourceful, and you're going to see more pools here than Starbucks, I guarantee you. And big old hats that could double as personal shade tents. Because you got to wear a hat when it's this kind of heat and the sun is just crashing down. But you adapt. You sweat and you survive. You get air conditioning. Life goes on. And as I said, the heat is the biggest con. I personally am not a big fan of the cold, which we do have. So that's on another video. The second con, the critters. God. So as I said, I'm a Southern California girl. My sisters come here and flip the hell out over the fact that we have critters, right? We have bugs, we have snakes, we have coyotes, we have deer that are running around on the main streets. Nature runs this town. Why? Because we're a rural community. We haven't turned ourselves into concrete jungles. So let's talk about the real residents of Wichita Falls, the critters. And I don't care if you live downtown, in the country, or somewhere in between, because we are a rural community. You will meet the wildlife. But how beautiful is that? I sit out on my patio in the backyard. There are squirrels, there are birds, there are amazing rabbits that show up. That's just me in sort of the city area. And deer, they act like they pay taxes here because they just go wherever they want to. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I can assure you that if you've ever had, a wild hog or a deer or a groundhog or any of those critters in your yard, you don't think they're so sweet. So it is a con, if you will. These wild hogs, they're out there just minding their business until they decide your front lawn looks like a good place for a luau. And I don't mean you cooking them. They just tear up your yard. So there are critters here. Just be aware of that. And then we also have these amazing people that take care of that. There's all kinds of people that have created their side hustles around removing critters from your home. So just know that if it's a coyote or it's an armadillo, those poor things, bless their hearts, they have such a hard time crossing the road, armadillos. That is one thing that you see quite often. And it's sort of a meme for Texas, is the armadillos are on their back with all four legs up in the air. They almost never make it, frankly. And if you leave a trash bag outside overnight, congratulations, you just opened an all-you-can-eat buffet for every raccoon within a 5-mile radius. They are here to stay. And it's Nature City. That's what's so amazing about it. It's a con for sure if you're not welcoming critters. I do tell the story. I think there's a video on here about how a snake got into my house. Of course, I think it was my cats let them in, and into my sofa. That was quite enjoyable. I've had possums in my house. Now, granted, it's not because they got in, it's because I left the door open. But regardless, we just live with it. Honest to goodness, you just live with it. The third con is what I call severe weather, because Mother Nature, she's a little moody here, y'all. We're no strangers to wild weather. So I talked about the heat, but also we have been given the moniker of Tornado Alley, right? We have more tornado warnings and hailstorms that are really the size of baseballs. We have flash floods that make you wonder if you should start building an ark. It's all just Tuesday around here. It's not that really a big of a deal, but I know I love thunderstorms. Make me fall asleep, but sometimes we even have a snowpocalypse. You may have heard about that a few years ago. That made the whole town look like a Christmas card if you're looking at it from inside, but definitely didn't want to be outside. And then it turned into this muddy disaster the next day, which, snow, sleet, ice, all of that. We get every season. So right now it's spring, it's beautiful, the wildflowers are out, but tornado season is right around the corner. We have been having some amazing severe weather with thunderstorms in the last few days, and guess what? It makes the wildflowers grow even more, makes the grass grow. It's fabulous, actually. But you know what? We're tough here. We prepare, we plan, and we also know how to hunker down like pros, because as I'm always showing real estate to people, the first thing they want to know is there a storm shelter? There's plenty of them around town. And it's also an excuse to buy an adorable house with a storm shelter that you secretly wanted. I want my storm shelters in the garage where they're upright, not down in the ground. I'm a little claustrophobic. And con number 4, this is for those of you that come from Southern California or places that are open basically 24/7. Because what I've noticed is that once you're here and you're acclimated to it, it just seems normal everyday business. But Sundays are for slowing down. And a lot of people don't find that very cool. Because if you're from a big city where you can go and run to Target or Walmart at 2 a.m. for a tub of ice cream and a throw pillow and, a bottle of wine, brace yourself. Wichita Falls is not that place. On Sundays, the whole town basically takes a collective deep breath. Businesses close early. We have Chick-fil-A here. They don't even open on Sundays. Streets are so much quieter, much like Southern California used to be on Sundays back in the day. And if you want groceries, it's probably a good idea that you go to the supermarket before church lets out, because once that final amen happens, it's a mad dash to United or to every restaurant in town. That's what we do on Sundays. Go to church, go to the grocery store, get something to eat, or go to a restaurant. Honestly, though, it's kinda magical. It reminds you that life isn't supposed to be non-stop rat race. It's about church and family and sweet tea and gratitude. Oh, if you forgot the milk, guess what? You'll survive 24 hours without it if you can't get to the store. So that's some of our cons. Now, I know that doesn't seem like a lot of cons, and please check out my previous video about the pros and cons, because there's a couple of other cons in there that I didn't go with on this update. But here's the pros. They're even better than before. Now, pro number 1, cost of living. Oh, we are still, the champion. Even after everything, the pandemic, inflation, real estate madness, Wichita Falls is still the queen of affordability. Yay! I just did a video on that. Check it out here. The queen of affordability, because we are the second lowest cost of living in America, recently updated 2025, and in the top 10 of places to buy a house. You can still buy a cozy 3-bedroom, 2-bath home for under $150,000 and a nice house. I remember back in the late 90s, you could buy basically a manufactured home for $25,000, but you could buy a house for $50,000. Guess what? I just bought a house for $47,000. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, needs some work, but the fact is those things still exist here. Gas is cheaper. Groceries are cheaper. Property taxes are fair, and Texas still doesn't take a bite out of your paycheck with income taxes. Woohoo! What better reasons are there to move here? It's the closest thing to a financial unicorn that you're gonna find in America. That's why I live here and I love it. So pro number 2, remote work has changed the game. I say thank you to the pandemic for making remote work the norm around the country, around the world. Because so many of you amazing people who have watched this channel have packed up your laptops, packed up your animals, packed up your spouses, and moved here. And why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? You can work from home in this gorgeous, affordable city and spend your weekends biking, hiking, fishing, doing yoga, or just sitting on your porch swing. I'm telling you, you're getting paid at wages. I have people from California that can work remotely. Moving here, it is like they hit the lottery. The lottery, I say. It sounds like a no-brainer to me. Well, that's just because I live here and I love it. And I've already figured out all of these things. And with faster internet upgrades, wow, we got them. You're covered. Zoom calls and binge watching Netflix and everything else. This is not your mom's rural community. This is the biggest little small town you've ever been to. And number 3, the pro about business is booming and blooming. This is the thing that I've seen happen in the last 5 years. Once again, thank you, pandemic. It has allowed businesses to see that this is an absolute fabulous place to invest and start. Whether you're a big business starting here or a little one solopreneur, we have everything that you need to build a business industry. We have Panda Industries, yes, hemp, that is turning things upside down in this culture of where we create things from hemp. An Amazon distribution center is being built here. So people are coming, houses are selling, all of the things that you need to create a business. If you're a solopreneur, we're bringing in the businesses to help support you. We've recently passed city council measures for massive data centers that can be built and that are expanding here right now. What is the translation for you? Jobs, growth, opportunity, and for you, really, as I said, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, starting a business here is easier than falling off of a log, literally. If you have a viable product or a service, you are a big fish in a small pond. We have friendly banks, a supportive community, low overhead costs, and it's still the land of yes, 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 yes for dreamers and doers. Wichita Falls is absolutely primed for you to start your business here. And pro number 4 is always, 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 always the people. I've said this a million times if I've said it once. And the bless your heart, really the truly bless your heart, not the bless your heart like you didn't do something right. But the fact is that is who we are. Listen, Texans are some of the friendliest folks you're ever gonna meet. But don't mistake kindness for weakness. We're welcoming. Just don't come here trying to change us into a mini Austin or a copy and paste big city. Because literally, we are conservative here. I will say that. Nothing against my liberal friends, but the fact is we are conservative here. We are conservative because we follow those values of love and connection, community, and absolute brilliant neighbors. So, you love us, we love you. You criticize us, well, bless your heart. I did a video on Texas slang. You might want to check that one out as well. And if you don't know what bless your heart is or means, check out that video, but spend a few Sundays here. You're going to catch on. It's really easy to get into what we're doing here. And then pro number 5, we have nature and parks and wildflowers and critters, the good kind. Springtime is here, y'all. It's pure magic. Our roadsides right now are lined with bluebonnets, Indian paintbrush, wild daisies, and blue-eyed grasses. It's like driving through a painting. I promise you, it is literally like driving through a painting. We have incredible parks, which I walk every day, hiking trails, lakes, and even off-road bike trails for those of y'all who like to adventure a little muddy. I really want to give a shout out to yoga studios. We've had those popping up ever since I moved here, everywhere. New fitness classes through our Parks and Rec department. Our farmers markets, we have multiples now because we've had them spring up in multiple cities. So even if you live a little farther out, I just saw that they started a new farmers market in Henrietta. We have Art Walk on the first Thursday of every month. You name it. Wichita Falls is cozy, creative, and surprisingly lively for a town of its size. So there you have it. This updated, real, raw, hopefully you found it a little funny, fabulous pros and cons of living in Wichita Falls, Texas. Of living in Wichita Falls, Texas, 2025 style. And if you're thinking about moving here, check out my restaurant videos sprinkled across the channel. Learn about how the falls began. There's another video here. And make sure to download this beautiful relocation guide because even as I said earlier, it's a few years old, but it still captures the heart of this amazing community. And if you've got questions, drop them below or reach out. I love hearing from y'all. And there's a link in the first comments where you can schedule a Zoom meeting with me to get more information about Wichita Falls. But more importantly, I can help you move here. I've done it hundreds of times for people because when you're coming here, it can be a little change, but a change for the good. And if you've got a funny wildlife encounter, I want to hear about that too. Put it in the comments. Until next time, y'all come back now, you hear?